Alright, so a little prerequisite before the video even starts. The reason this video is probably going up a couple days later than it usually does is because I'm entering finals week at my school. So I'm in college. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually entering finals week for the semester these next 3 weeks actually. So what I mean by that is videos are going to be a little bit slower uploading. I usually try to upload every 3 days or so. That's usually what the time frame has been. But we're probably going to be stretching to 5 days or so just because I need to focus on school and passing my classes, make sure I do good on my exams and whatnot. I'm sure you guys can understand that. And the reason this has been taking so long to get this video out is because I just haven't had the time because I've been doing school stuff. So I'm finally home and I can actually get this done. Is recently, about 2 or 3 days ago, I actually saw another Craigslist that I was super interested in. But my only fear is that I can only see the back half of the vehicle. There's only one photo. I can't see if the front end of it's destroyed or any stuff like that. There's no interior, there's no motor pictures, there's no nothing. So I gotta kind of just hope for the best. It's local where I live, so it's nice and close. We're gonna go check that out, and I'm gonna take you guys over there to see that truck. Hopefully we can get a good shot of the truck before. I want you guys to guess what it is, as I always do. I want you guys to guess what this thing is. The only thing I'm gonna tell you as a hint is it's not a Chevy. This is not a Chevy. For you guys that kind of hated my C10, you guys don't have to worry. This isn't a Chevy this time, so you guys can guess something else. So it should be pretty fun. So I'll take you guys over there now, and hopefully it's what I'm hoping it is, not destroyed. Hey, John, you around? No, I'm at mine. I was asking if it's okay if we swing by. Right, so now I'm going to call Sean because Sean's the only way that I can actually get this truck is if he drives me there. So, let's see what he's up to.
Yo.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm still at work. What's up?
Dang it. Would it be bad if I told you I'm probably buying a vehicle today?
Well, what are you getting?
I'm filming right now, so you're on film, but I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna have to bleep it out.
Okay.
So it's.
Are you getting that red one?
Yeah, where'd you see that?
You showed me it.
Oh no, not this one. There's another one. It's a piece. It's like $700. It's a piece of.
Well, I'm sure your parents are gonna be happy about that.
No, they actually don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they've given up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and give me a call when I get back in town.
Okay, well.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. I'm probably terribly silhouetted. So this should be pretty fun. This is the main purpose of this build. I'm going to explain later, but let's just say it's going to be as quick as possible. I'll explain what that means later. It'll make sense. Yeah, that's a massive truck. I've actually never seen one of these in person up close. So you know what year it is? 65?
It's a 65.
Yeah.
I got a 477 motor, I think they said it was.
Okay.
But I have everything.
Oh boy.
These are starters, the carburetors.
Oh, so everything's in it?
Everything's in it.
Wow, this thing is humongous.
Yeah, you know how a lift bed works? You ever seen how they work? See down here?
Yeah.
You put pins, see that pin right there?
Yeah.
It goes up, that thing goes up and you put the pin in, and then it lifts the bed up like this.
Oh, so it's...
And then for it to dump, you pull the pin out.
Okay, I see. So then it just tilts back, I gotcha.
Yeah. But I used to drive one of these when I was your age. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh shit, no. When I was 24, I worked for a company and I drove one of these.
So I have the truck right in front of me. You guys can't see it quite yet, but I thought I might as well show you it now. I actually went and looked at it already, bought the truck, like I said. did a lot of stuff, and I couldn't show you guys because it was dark out, because it gets really dark at like, I think it's literally not even 5 yet. It's about 4:40, and it's getting dark out, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the truck now and just take a walk around so you guys can kind of see what I got. So leave your guesses down below what I got, and I'll show you guys the truck now. So if you guessed another one of my kind of trucks, then you were right. It's a 71 F250. Not sure if it has a 360 or a 390 in it yet. Pretty sure it's a 390, but I'm not sure. It's got a lot of dents. The roof's dented in, grill's dented. The whole back end of it's kind of dented. The bed's a little bit thrashed. The bed is also kind of tweaked out a little bit, which is a little bit weird. It was very used and abused, as you can tell. This bed is pretty much gone. It's completely rotted out. So I would get a whole new bed. This is not even really worth trying to make it work. Alright, this door doesn't want to open. I don't know why. So inside of it's full of all sorts of disgusting stuff, as you can tell. Roof was caved in, so I gotta push that back up and probably tack weld it. You can see it had a camper based on the bumper it had and all these holes around the window, which is where the insulator, I guess vinyl from the camper would kind of clip into the window. Look, this had AC at one point, which is what this is. It's pretty trash. Everything's kind of dirty, but the door panels are straight. The interior is actually in good condition. It's just dirty, if that makes sense. Like, everything's really, really dirty. So I didn't even look behind the seat yet. Oh, geez. That's pretty gross. I don't know if there's a dead rat back there, but I don't really want to find one yet. I mean, what the hell is this? Okay, go back there. I don't want that. I had it running pretty good, and then I guess something got sucked up into the carburetor from it sitting for so long, and it plugged up my carburetor, so only one jet is squirting, which I'm pretty sure you guys can see. It's only squirting one, which sucks. Regardless, I have to pull the top of the carburetor apart, pull the jets out, clean the jets, put it back in. Hopefully I fix that issue and then get it home, and then we can actually start turning into this a little bit. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the top of the carburetor off so I can get the jets clean so we can actually get this thing out of here. So I was here, this is my third time here. I've been looking at the truck, I've been working on the truck 3 times, but it's all been dark out, so I haven't really been able to show you quite that well. I came here with Remy and we were trying to work with a carb because one of the jets was clogged and one of the squirters was clogged. So I went ahead and I took those out, cleaned them, put them back in. I'll insert the clips for that right now.
That's gonna be super clean, dude. It's like a brand new carburetor inside.
Okay, shut up. All right, pulled the top bolts off and the stud out, and crap, forgot to take the choke off. All right, so now I got my jets squirting out of both, which is good. And so now I'm just going through the idle mixtures on each side. And so I'm gonna just leave it at 1.5 for right now. So I hope you guys can see that. So that's a half. It's full. It's about 1/2. Half. Full. 1/2. And then, so now I'm back again today, and it's light out. I came out a lot earlier, so I'll show you the truck again. So it's a 71 F250 that you can see it's a lot lighter out. You can definitely see the giant dent in the roof that I showed you. The just mangled bed. I don't really know. I didn't realize the bed was quite this bad, but I think we might be able to. I don't even think I'm going to really do anything with the bed, because anyone who gets this truck that actually wanted to, say, restore it would just get a whole new bed. This thing is pretty beaten up. So right now I'm going ahead and I'm taking the fuel pump off because we diagnosed our problem, because there was everything was clean in the carburetor. The carburetor was fine. Both jets worked, both squirters worked. It was getting fuel, but there wasn't enough pressure to keep the thing running without butterflying the throttle. And so I pulled the fuel line off, and sure enough, not even a drop of fuel came out. I have no fuel coming out of this primary inlet from the tank. And our fuel pump is bad because we tried the fuel pump and it wasn't getting any fuel. Like, you could crank it over with your finger on the front of the fuel line and it wouldn't even try to spray fuel. So our fuel pump we're replacing right now. I have the power steering pump off. I'm about ready to pull the fuel pump out. We're gonna go to O'Reilly's, get a new fuel pump, put that back in, hook everything back up, and hopefully it works. I'm also gonna get some gas to put in it so I can make sure I can knock that out of the equation. All right, a little bit of an update. So fuel pump was actually fine. Put that back in, put everything back in, and fuel pump's good, fuel line's good, carb's good, all the way back to fronting the fuel lines, all the way back up into this guy is good. We actually popped this off, cranked it over, stuck your finger on it, and it was definitely pulling pressure, which is good. So our problem we thought was in the tank, and it was running really weird. You would have to butterfly it to keep it to run, and then if you held it at about half throttle or even full throttle, it would just lean out and die. But I think I might have found the reason why. And if I have to tell you, then yeah, see that giant hole in the back of the EGR valve? That would be our issue. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut that, slide it forward, and that should definitely fix it, because I noticed some smoke, or my dad noticed some smoke coming out of that guy. So I think that's our issue right there. Just turn the Wi-Fi issue.
Here, give me those.
No. Okay, you're good. Huh? That's good now. That's really good now.
Look at that. That sounds like a brand new motor, man.
Good. I've only been here for 3 days.
Okay, guys.
Thank you. Shut up.
Thing idled better than your truck.
It does not idle better. It does not idle better than my truck.
Idles better than the Camaro, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. Yep, seems good now. I can hear it leaking out of the muffler.
Not bad.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alright, I don't really want the seatbelt touching me, but I don't think I have really much of a choice. This is the most disgusting truck I think I've ever ridden in, and I'm about to drive it out. And it just died. Come on, wait. There we go. Alright, well, this is kind of the sketchiest thing I've ever driven. It's, the brakes literally go to the floor. As you can tell, they don't do anything. It has a lot of like it actually gets up and goes pretty good. Like it moves pretty good for what it is. The window doesn't really roll down or roll up very well. The temps and everything looks good. The oil sending unit is the only one that's broken. That's just, I just noticed it's just like, it's not sitting on the threads very well. It's just loose. Fuel gauge works. Everything, all the other gauges work. Everything else seems to be operational. It's probably gonna stall right here actually. Seems to be doing pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it home, and I'll walk you guys around it. I'm sitting in literally a hole, as you can see. So I mean, I'm kind of feeling like this is what it would be like if I had bucket seats, because I'd be like nice and low and far back. But I'm literally just have a spring on my ass, so I guess I just got to deal with it. Oh yeah, and to kind of to top it all off, that's my license plate. Yeah, quality. I think the tag's expired too. Nice. All right, so I'm back home now. I hope the lighting's a little bit decent. It's literally not even 4 yet, and it's getting dark already. So here's the truck again. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you this. This will be the last time we see it until I start tearing into it. So here's the 71 F250. It literally came with just one key. It's custom. That's not the correct spot for the badging, I'm pretty sure. There should be one in the back, as you can see. I don't know why there's a secondary one in the front. There should only be this guy and then the one in the back, unless there's a badge right here, which there isn't. Going to the inside, it's very, very dirty. Pluses of this truck, it has a very, very, very good door panel. If you wanted an original style interior, this is an incredible door panel because it has aging to it and there's not a single dent in it. I would actually put those in my truck, but I kind of want the inside of mine to be clean. The roof is dented in. You can see this brace is starting to hang down. We're actually going to pound that back up, and I will tack weld all the way across the roof, and it'll keep the roof back up. So that's the plan with that. I haven't really looked too closely into this. You can see the original style headliner was still there. The dash is pretty cracked up, but it'll clean up a decent amount. I got to get rid of all the hardware and miscellaneous garbage that's up there. The seat, pretty trashed. I was literally sitting in this hole. This is what I meant by having a spring in my butt, and then That's just fabric. There is no padding there. You can see it's just a spring. It's a fabric. That's, yeah. So then there's some bunch of trash on the other side there. Has a factory AC unit though, but I don't think that's correct to this exact truck. I feel like that came out of a dent side, but I'm not 100% sure. You might be able to educate me there. I think it's got an aftermarket stereo in it based on the fact it says Motorola on it. This ashtray doesn't seem to want to close right now, but I think it just fell off the track. I'll put that back in. Headlights and everything work. Gauge lights kind of work. You can see they're obviously not even. One goes up higher than the other one. Mirror is obviously not factory. It also is a little, well, it's a little wacky. Glove box is full of junk. I'm not going to open that right now because I can't reach it. That door is really kind of a trick to open, so we'll figure that out. Horn mechanism I see is kind of missing. Here's the most sketchy thing that I noticed when I was driving this truck is the fact that the steering wheel, sorry if I'm shaking the camera too much, but this doesn't seem to sit right at all, and I'm not really 100% sure why. And I also noticed the turn signal clicker is completely broken. That mechanism inside is just completely destroyed. I know that for a fact. If you guys know exactly how to fix that, I'd like to know, so I'm not just kind of barrel rolling around with this issue. That's really unsafe. I do want to fix that. Trailer brakes, exact same unit that was in my green 75, if you guys remember that. Walk around to the back. The bed is completely destroyed right here. I think he just couldn't get this to fit and just started cutting and hammering and throwing stuff together there. So it is an F-250 custom. It's got those badges. That's the correct spot for the badge. Looks like it's been on and off a couple times, but that's where the badge should be. I don't really know what's going on with this. It's like a melted or something. I don't remember it being like that. Single tip, it goes from a dual exhaust into a single, I'm pretty sure. It's got true dual mufflers all the way back, as you can see through this destroyed bed. I think you can kind of, you probably can't see them right now. But there's two, I think, Dynamax mufflers that go into a single and they come out the side there. I didn't even notice a spare tire. I wonder if it's still got the original Ford one on it. Yep, it does. That's the original Ford spare. This is a camper bumper. So this is the kind of bumper that would have a latch on either side here and here that would actually have a step that would come down. This is where the plate would go to. You could actually extend this out further. And another really, really easy way to tell if a truck had a camper, which is literally, you'll notice in any truck, Franklin's Pre-Runner even has this. It's the holes around the window, because campers don't have the back window. They have a vinyl that kind of comes in through the camper and wraps up, and there's a bunch of buttons that clip it to the cab. That's kind of what seals the cab to the camper. All right, I think I developed a little bit of a trans fluid leak. I think you guys could see that dark puddle over there, but I also noticed it up on my driveway as I was backing it in. There's a couple trans fluid spots, so those are a leak. So he did say it does leak a little bit, so that's kind of an issue. It does have the original black plate on it, which is cool. It's kind of working as like a vanity though. And if I didn't already explain this dent on the hood is from one time him pulling out of, I think, a gas station way back 10 years ago, and the hood actually flew up and smashed on the roof, so it bent the hood. So I'll go ahead and I'll fire this thing up. It should start on its own now. There we go. Runs actually very good. So I definitely have exhaust leaks up here, but very quiet muffler. There, now you can see the muffler. So you can see here's all the trash I got to clean out. Glove box, I think I had a rat in it before. Now it's just, there's a box of something in there. I don't even know what's going on. So it's kind of gross. Original style mirrors, which is great. It looks like something fell off and you put some new hardware in there. And come on, dude, this isn't how you make shit fix, by putting nails in to space stuff out and then putting crappy hardware in. A regular washer and a lock nut washer. This is really weird. I guess whatever works, right? Trim doesn't look like it's in bad condition. The badging looks pretty good. It's not all pitted. Door handles are pretty pitted though. You can see the door handles are pretty pitted up. But you can see the truck runs great. The bed is pretty much smashed, and a big, really, really bad part is you can see the bed is actually tweaked outward, which is not good. And this tailgate that came with it is just as bad. You can see it's completely smashed up top. And you can actually see it bows. It's kind of got like a C shape to it. And the other side is not much better. So that's kind of just a wall piece, honestly. I wouldn't even, it's honestly just scrap metal. And the wheel wells are pretty much destroyed. But honestly, I can pull the front dent out of the grill. You could put a new hood on this and you'd have a very, very straight truck. It looks like I'm leaking out of the radiator just a little bit. Actually, I think that is my trans oil cooler, because I think that is trans fluid. Yeah, that's trans fluid. That's out of my oil cooler for the trans. Looks like the hoses are cracking up and they're leaking a little bit there. But overall, really good truck. Runs amazing. I have paperwork documenting the rebuild for motor and transmission. I think 73,000 miles, or no, 78,000. It had a motor and trans rebuild, and it's got about 93,000 on it right now, which means it has less than 20K on the motor and trans. So it's got a brand new motor and trans in it, which is a really big plus. All right, so you guys now have seen the new truck that I got. It's a 71 F250 custom. I'm pretty sure it has a 390 with a C6 in it. We're not quite sure. I haven't decoded the VIN all the way through. I will, and I'll let you know all the packages that it does have. It's, like I said, with everything, it doesn't look too bad. I'll show you guys how to pound on the roof and do a lot of the stuff that I'm going to do with this. But the main thing with this is it's not going to be this nice restoration kind of pick it up and go kind of thing. I'm not going to paint the valve covers. I'm not going to paint a lot of this stuff. I'm not going to make it look really, really nice like I did with my green truck. That truck looks phenomenal, still does. I really want to show you guys that truck in the future, what the guy's done to that. This truck is just going to be functionality. I want to make this thing a pristine daily driver, but it might not look that way. So with the rebuilt motor and trans that it has, I can make sure that it can start, stop, and get you around just fine. I want to sell this to hopefully someone that's going to use it for work, being the fact that it has a roof rack. And I might consider welding new sheet metal in the bed, which would make the bed usable. Not quite sure about that one yet. But regardless, it should be a pretty quick and easy project. I want to show you guys. I'm going to get this thing in and out in hopefully about 2 weeks. But obviously the videos won't show that. But 2 weeks working-wise time. That I'll be working with this one. And then the plan with this one is, I still got to finish this one up. I haven't been making any videos with this because I just haven't had the time, and it's not really a popular item on my channel. Sorry, but it just isn't. So now I own 2 trucks, and there's a reason for it, and I'm not keeping either of them. So sorry if you like them. They're not staying for long, but it'll all be worth it in the end. So let me know what you think down below about the new truck and the old truck, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.